Today, we're on location looking at sites that were in the film My Cousin Vinny, which came out in 1992 with Joe Pesci and Ralph Macchio and who's the lady's name?
Lisa Tomei.
Lisa Tomei.
No, Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei. We're gonna visit all three of the hotel sites that they stayed at in the movie. We're gonna visit a couple of the eatery places as well as the courthouse downtown and one or two other locations, right?
The Sac O Suds.
The Sac O Suds.
We're gonna go there.
Of course, which is where the movie basically started.
Yep.
Right now we're at the General Putnam Motel and Restaurant, where they first started and Vinny learned about grits.
So we're gonna take a look around and then we'll head on to the next location.
So the restaurant building is still here, but there is pretty much nothing left, concrete slabs, of what was the motel portion. Here in the middle, where the office was, and then to the right, we believe, was room number 1, which is where Vinny and Lisa, their room was. Hotel is no longer here. We believe there was a fire. We saw some pictures on Google Maps of a fire. We believe that is what ultimately destroyed the hotel. Residents and guests. There's a kitchen area, looks like.
Yeah.
That cooking hood. Little window.
Oh, pass-through window?
Yeah. The counter that they were sitting at, I believe, was just on the other side of that.
Oh, you might be right. Hot water heater. Well, there's not a lot left, but it's still something. They left the restaurant rec area for us to look at. Motel would have been cool. I think it's been out of operation though a really long time. It wasn't even in operation before the fire.
Wasn't open when you were here last?
Nah, this wasn't either. I mean, it's been closed down since I first came down here.
But there were 3 food options.
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Lunch and dinner.
All right, so this is Dave's Barbecue in the movie. It was a red building, and that first window, Lisa and Vinny had their argument. She stormed out. Now it's called Martha Jane's Casual Baked Southern Food. We were going to eat here, but we ate like 2 hours ago and aren't hungry. And so maybe another day, we're going to move on to the next site. So we were lucky enough to park fairly close or in the same spot as when they had mud in the tires when they first got to town. And right over there is the courthouse. And then right over there is a statue that's also in the movie. Comrades, that's it. You can see where it says Comrades, you can see that part in the movie. There's the old courthouse. This was only used for outside scenes. The inside courthouse scenes were shot over in Covington, which we are not going to. So here we are at Sac O Suds. Looks a lot different now. It was green, had like a green sign motif in the movie. The gas island was right here. And then the curb was right out there that the tires spun wildly out of control going over. When they widened the road, the island, they did away with the island. He hasn't been here for a long time. The original Sac O Suds used in the movie closed down and was set vacant for years and years, subjected to vandals. Then they brought it back a few years ago, and apparently it didn't do well enough to stay in business. The guy with the dirty trees and the dirty screens, that's where his trailer was. And the trailers that were across the street, there was two. They've long been gone. I've never even seen them. Probably with the widening of the road. When they were open, I was lucky enough to come down here and they sold cans of tuna, 2 Utes tuna. I'm really glad I picked my can of tuna up. And in the movie, it looked a lot different than this. The original counter was to the left. And this is where it was, this is where they put it when they reopened. So they came in to town this way, which would be the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And you can see them crossing the bridge and then turning right into here. Vinny and the DA going through the cabin. That's the road they took. You can see that road right there in the movie. So this is the motel they stayed at when the train kept waking them up. Everything on the dressers were rattling. And then also, when Vinny parked his car right here, he walked across the street to the pool hall and kicked his ass and collected $200. So I'm gonna walk over there. So this is where the entrance was. There's something else going on in here now. It says the shop on West. And we'll get another view of the motel. All right, on to the next stop. We're in Bostwick, Georgia. And this is the motel they stayed at when the pigs kept waking them up.
It looks like it's still a hotel, and it also looks like it's City Hall.
So if you come down here, that office is open 3 hours a week on Wednesday, and there's nothing left inside. It's all been converted to office space. Don't expect to see anything inside.
This is twobluefred. We appreciate you coming along for the ride. Don't forget, freaking ride every day.